Good morning, students. So
Good mo-
today's class, we are going to see about addressing modes of 8051. So before that, you must understand some of the terminologies involved in your 8051 architecture. So the important terminology involved in your instruction set are instruction cycle, mission cycle, T states, opcode, operand, instructions based on length. Okay, so we will see one by one. So first one is the instruction cycle. So instruction cycle, the definition of instruction cycle is that the time required for the microcontroller to fetch all the required parts of the instruction and execute that instruction. So this one consisting of two cycles, that is fetch and execute. Fetch cycle and execute cycle. So fetch cycle is for fetching the opcodes from your memory, and after fetching the opcode, and this cycle is used to execute your instruction. So it consisting of fetch and execute. The definition is it is time required for the microcontroller to fetch all the required parts of an instruction and execute that instruction. Okay. Next one is the mission cycle. So this mission cycle is the part of your instruction cycle. Okay. So here the time required to transfer data, only it is mainly for transferring data. Transfer data to or from memory or IO ports. Okay. And regarding this T states, so each mission cycle consists of several clock cycles. So already I have explained this. So 2 clock period is equal to 1 T state. Look at this diagram. 2 clock period is called as 1 T state according to our 8051 microcontroller. So one mission cycle consists of 12 clock cycles. Okay. So the clock periods is known as T states. Clock periods known as T states. Okay. So what is opcode? I think you are aware of these three terminology. What is opcode?
The instruction or the operation that is to be performed.
Huh?
The instruction or the operation that should be performed on the
Oh,
opcode.
actually, it specifies the operation to be performed. Example, move A comma B is opcode here is move. Add A comma B means your opcode is add. Okay, what type of operation to be performed is indicated by your opcode. And what is operand? What is operand?
which the operation is done. Ma'am.
What now?
Ma'am, operand
Well, can you
on
repeat that? Operand? I'm not able to hear your voice.
operand is something on which the operation is done. Ma'am.
Yeah, the operation to be performed is indicated by your operand. Suppose move A comma B means A, B is the operand, move is your opcode. Okay, like that, your each instruction of 8051 consists of opcode and operand. So the combination of opcode and operand is called mnemonics. That should be represented in operand is called mnemonics. Okay, that should be represented in hexadecimal format. Okay, and instructions based on length. So how do you classify the instruction based on length? So what are the classification? So we have three types of classification: single byte instruction, 2 byte instruction, 3 byte instruction. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So single byte means it takes 1 byte of memory location, 1 byte instruction. So it takes 1 byte of your addressable memory. Example, move A, B. So the opcode for example, it has only one opcode, that is 0F, for example. So this 0F should be stored in a memory location. Okay. Suppose 2 byte instruction means, example, move A, #02. So it requires 2 bytes of memory location. One is for opcode, another one is for your data, 8-bit data. So 1 byte for opcode, 1 byte for your data. So totally 2 bytes of memory location. Next, 3 byte example, move DPTR, #4500. So it requires 3 bytes of memory location. One is for your opcode, another one is for your lower order address, and third one is for higher order address. So opcode, okay, and next memory location we have to store your lower order address, next higher order address. So it requires 3 bytes of memory locations. In this way, where instructions are classified based on length. Single byte instruction, 2 byte instruction, and 3 byte instruction. Single byte means it requires only one memory location, that is opcode only stored in your memory location. And next 2 byte instruction requires 2 byte, 1 byte is for opcode and another byte is for storing your 8-bit data or your 8-bit address. That is depends on your instruction. And third one is the 3 byte instruction. So 1 byte is for your opcode and second byte is for lower order address and third byte is for higher order address. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this slide I have already explained T states. So coming into the instruction cycle. So mission cycle is the main activity performed by CPU to execute your program instruction. Okay. However, the mission cycle is the part of the instruction cycle. Okay. Instruction cycle is nothing but it's a combination of fetch cycle and execute cycle. Okay, so here your mission cycle is the part of the instruction cycle. So instruction cycle is the process initiated by CPU to execute one program instruction. So every program instruction is associated this instruction cycle. Okay. So already I have explained instruction cycle is the time taken to execute one instruction. So the instruction cycle consists of sequence of the following steps. First step, so your opcode will be stored in your memory. Okay. So first thing is the fetch, that is read an instruction from memory. So this is the first one. Okay, it will read the opcodes from memory and after that decode the opcodes. So convert the instructions into sequence of action. Suppose if you are doing move operation or if you are doing addition operation, that can be decoded by this decoding stage. Okay. So after decoding, it will identify the address of the operand to retrieve the operand. Okay. So next one is the retrieve an operand based on your instruction. Suppose move A, #02 means this 0 has to be retrieved. Okay. So first address of the operand to be identified and operand is to be retrieved and perform the desired operation. So it can be your arithmetic operation or logical operation or any branch operation and find the address of destination memory. So after your operation, that is after your instruction is executed by this step store. So after finding the address, the result will be stored in the destination memory. So these are the main steps involved in your instruction cycle: fetch, decode, execute, and store. Okay. So here the mission cycle is part of instruction cycle depending on the type of instruction. Okay. So single instruction might need one or more mission cycle to get executed by the CPU. Okay. Single instruction cycle. For example, multiply instruction requires 4 mission cycle to execute a single instruction. Similarly, div requires 4 mission cycle. Move requires 1 mission cycle to complete its execution. Likewise, so single instruction might need 1 or more mission cycle to get executed by the CPU. So minimum number of mission cycle required is 1, maximum number of mission cycle is 4 to execute single instruction. So according to your 8051, the minimum is 1, maximum is 4. So the maximum mission cycle required by 2 instructions, that is div and multiplication. So multiplication and division requires more number of mission cycle in order to perform the operation, that is multiplication and division. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any doubts regarding this? So 4 steps: fetch, decode, execute, and store. That's all. So your mission cycle is nothing but a part of the instruction cycle. That is to fetch the data from your memory. That is to find the address of the operand, retrieve an operand. So we may need 1 or 4 mission cycle to execute a particular instruction. Okay. So next one is, so this is already I explained. Mission code is nothing but your opcode and operand. Move is the opcode and this 55 is the operand. Okay. So let's move on to the addressing mode. So we have got 5 addressing mode. That is immediate addressing mode, direct addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, and in-text addressing mode. So my question is, what is addressing mode? What is the purpose of addressing mode?
In order to perform an operation,
How your address is related here? How the address is related?
Access mechanism, accessing.
So
a value stored in a certain address, ma'am.
Yeah.
So in order to access that value, we need to address it.
We need to address the operands. Okay. So addressing mode is a way to address an operand. So that is the definition of your addressing mode. Here operand means the data we are operating on. That is most cases source data. Okay. Operand means the source data we are operating on. So that source data can be a direct address of memory, or it can be register names, or it can be numerical data. Okay. So it can be direct address. Your operand can be direct address or register names or immediate. So it's a way to address an operand. Okay. So we have got, so we can represent our opcode in 5 different ways. That is immediate, using immediate addressing mode, we can represent our operand. Direct addressing mode, we can represent, and register indirect, direct, register indirect, and in-text addressing mode. Okay. So we will see one by one. So immediate addressing mode. So immediate addressing mode, I have already explained this instruction syntax in our lab class. So what do you infer from this instruction? So syntax is move a comma hash immediate data. So it requires 2 bytes of memory location. Opcode for the corresponding instruction given here is 74. So what do you infer from this instruction? So what is the meaning of immediate here? The addressing mode is named as immediate. So it transfers 8-bit data immediately to the accumulator according to this instruction. Okay. So it transfers a 8-bit data immediately to the accumulator. So this method can only used for source operand alone. So not for destination, cannot be used for destination operand. So we have move a comma hash 6a. So opcode for this instruction is 74. So it requires 2 bytes of memory location. 1 byte is for your opcode, and another one is for your 6a immediate data. So these two are stored in the corresponding program memory. So your program counter is, that is 0202 is your program counter, which holds the opcode, and 0203 holds 6a. 6a is the immediate data. Okay. So when the instruction at 202 is executed, accumulator is made active and ready to receive data. So after execution, your accumulator holds this value. So here E0 is nothing but internal address of your accumulator. So after execution, your program counter is equal to PC plus 2. So it's pointing 0 to 04. So using immediate addressing mode, we can represent the data in this way. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So based on the size of the destination register, we have to initialize our 8-bit data. Suppose if your destination register is a 8-bit register, we have to initialize only 8-bit data. Suppose if you are initializing a comma hash 6a6b, suppose if you are trying to move 16-bit data into accumulator, so that instruction is the invalid instruction. So you have to, that is to ensure that the source, that is your destination register is a 8-bit register. If it is a 8-bit register, you can move 8-bit data. Suppose if the destination is a 16-bit register, you can move 16-bit immediate value. So before using this instruction, you have to check the destination register. Is that clear? Any doubts? The immediate addressing mode. So next one is the direct addressing mode. So direct addressing mode, address is directly specified. So this is not hash symbol. So here, if has a symbol before the 6a indicates that operand is a 8-bit data. Suppose if the symbol is absent, then the 6a is taken as an address. So that is the concept. This symbol representation is for indicating this is a 8-bit data. If the symbol is absent, okay, it can be considered as an address. That is, the hexadecimal value would be taken as address. Is that clear? Is that clear? So this is the another way of addressing your operand using direct addressing mode. So the address of the data is given as operand. So hash symbol is not present, so it is considered as a address. So address of the data is given as operand. So the given instruction is move a comma 04. Okay. So when this instruction is executed, so whatever data stored in this 04 is moved to accumulator. So this 04 is nothing but your internal RAM address. Internal RAM address. So look at this diagram. So this one requires 2 bytes of data. So opcode for this one is E5. So E5 is stored in 0202. 0202 is your program counter. 04 is the address, okay? 0203, okay? So during the execution, first it will check the content of 04. So according to your bank register arrangement, the internal address of your register 4 is 04. We check your internal RAM organization, okay? So the internal address of R4 is 04. So what is the operation of this instruction? I am trying to access the data available in R4 to A. Okay. So move A comma 04. Move A comma R4, both are same. So this is under register addressing mode. This is under direct addressing. So that is the difference. So I am using here, that is 8-bit address as an operand here, okay? So first it will check the content of your internal RAM memory, okay? So the content of internal RAM memory is 1F, okay? So that is transferred to your accumulator. Is that clear? So after execution, your program counter is incremented by 2. So when this instruction is executed, okay, so the accumulator is made active and ready to receive the data, and program control goes to next address, that is 0203. Okay, and look up the address of the location, that is 04. It will check the content of 04. Okay, so 04, the control finds the data 1F and transfer it to accumulator. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So if the symbol is present, 8-bit data, that is your data is considered as 8-bit data in this previous case. If the symbol is present, so this number would be considered as a 8-bit data. Okay. If the symbol is not absent, so same number would be taken as address. That's all. So according to the instruction, the content of 04 is transferred to accumulator. So the content of 04 is nothing but 1F. That 1F is transferred to accumulator. So after execution, your accumulator holds this 1F value. Okay. Is that clear? Any doubts? So can you differentiate immediate addressing mode and direct addressing mode? Students, please reply.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So based on the symbol only. If the symbol is present, you are going to transfer 8-bit data. Okay. If the symbol is absent, you are going to transfer the content of address, that is internal address, to your register. That's all. That is the difference. Okay. So next addressing mode, register direct addressing mode. So here name of the registers. So we can use register names directly as source operand. Example, move A comma 4, A comma R4. So what is the operation of this move A comma R4? Please tell me.
It moves whatever data is present in the register R4 to accumulator.
Accumulator. So what is the size of this instruction? Single byte, 2 byte or 3 byte?
Single byte.
It is a single byte instruction. Okay, it is a single byte instruction. So look at here, it takes single byte of memory location. So this opcode is stored at 0202. This is your program counter. Okay. So after execution, your R4 holds this value. So that value is transferred to accumulator. Okay. So can you compare the difference between these two? Which one is the efficient instruction? Move A comma 04 and move A comma R4. Both are same. Which one is efficient one while programming your 8051?
Register direct addressing.
What is the reason?
Number of bytes.
Cycles involved, ma'am.
Yeah, so here we have to give 8-bit value, that is 8-bit address. So it takes 2 bytes of memory location. Here it takes 1 byte of memory location, okay, for complete execution. So register addressing mode, that is register direct addressing mode, can save program memory. So based on your program size, we can choose our addressing mode. So compared to the previous one, this one is preferred. Okay, this one is widely used instead of this one. Okay, so here this one is valid instruction. Example R5 comma R6. This is valid?
Yes, ma'am.
No, this is not valid. We cannot represent our register banks as both source register and destination register. This instruction is the invalid instruction. Okay. You can use move A, comma, R0. Move R2, comma, A. So, accessing the register bank, one of the register must be accumulated. We cannot use the general purpose register in the place of both your source and destination. Okay. So, this instruction is the invalid instruction. Okay. Any doubts? Up to this, any doubts? So we have seen three: immediate addressing, no, direct addressing and register direct. Next, register indirect. So in this addressing mode, address of the data is given in the register operand. So look at this example, move A, comma at R0. So the value inside R0 is considered as an address, not data here. So the symbol used here is at symbol, at R0, okay. So the value inside R0 is considered as an address, okay, which holds, that address holds data, okay. So which holds the data to be transferred to accumulator. So here your R0 is configured as a memory pointer at R0. So it only works with two registers at R0 and at R1, not any other register. So your R0 holds the value 20. For example, according to this instruction example, move A, comma at R0. Just you look at R0 content. So this is your R0 register. So what is the value inside this R0? That is 20, which meaning, the meaning of this instruction is we are trying to access the data available at 20. That is the meaning. So look at here, in your data memory, in 20 we have 2F, that data is transferred to your accumulator. So the data pointed by R0. So that is the meaning. Okay, R0 holds the value 20. So we have a data 2F stored at the address 20H. Okay, then the 2F will get transferred to the accumulator after executing this instruction. So indirectly we are accessing the data using this instruction. That's why it's called as register indirect addressing. So assuming that your bank 0 is selected. So R0 அப்படிங்கிறது your bank 0 register R0. Okay. So your R0 of register A, bank 0 holds data 20H. So we are trying to access the data available at 20. So that 2F is transferred to your accumulator. Is that clear?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, why is it that we just use R0 and R1? Ma'am?
So actually we have 3 pointers according to our 8051. DPTR, okay. So DPTR, at DPTR means, okay, that as instruction is used to access data element from external memory, okay. And this R0 and R1 pointers are used to access data from internal RAM. For internal accessing, we have to use these 2 pointers alone. So that is the general syntax. Only it supports R0 and R1. According to this instruction, your R0 is configured as a memory pointer. So how do you differentiate a memory pointer or a normal register? By using this at symbol. So when at is present and R0 is configured as a memory pointer. So we are trying to access the data pointed by DPTR, that's pointed by R0. That data should be transferred to accumulator. Okay. So only we have 3 memory pointers for accessing data. DPTR is used to access the external memory data elements, and R0, R1 are used to access internal RAM memory location contents. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next one is the in-text addressing. So here, look at this example. So the in-text addressing mode is widely used in accessing data elements in lookup table applications, okay? Lookup table means, so it contains some pre-calculated values. So using this addressing mode, we can access the data from code memory. C represents code memory. Suppose X means X represents external memory, program memory. So that is the difference. So X indicates external program memory, C indicates code memory, that is your program memory. Okay. So lookup table means it contains already pre-calculated values. Suppose if you are calculating square root of given number or square of given number or logarithmic of given number, for that scenarios, your 8051 does not have exact square root instruction or square instruction or algorithmic instruction. So that scenario, we need to calculate some pre-calculated value that should be stored in code memory. So during the execution of the program, the code memory data elements can be accessed by using this type of instruction. That is move C A comma at A plus DPTR. Okay. So this instruction takes 1 byte of memory location, requires 2 clock cycles, 2 instructions, mission cycles. So according to this instruction format, okay, first your accumulator content is added with DPTR. Okay. So it is nothing but adding content of accumulator with DPTR. So the addition will result in new data, which is taken as the address of source data. See, what is the first step? Your accumulator is added with DPTR. So this will result new value, that is new data. Okay. So I am accessing data by using this symbol at new data. So what is the meaning at new data means? So it can be considered as address. We are trying to access the content of that address. So look at this example. What is the accumulator content before execution? 0, 2. And DPTR content 0, 1, FE. So before execution, your accumulator holds 0, 2. And DPTR holds this value 0, 1, FE. Okay. So during the execution, both the values are added, okay, and generate a new address. That is, when both are added, we will be getting 200. New data will be generated. What is the format of this instruction? At 0200. So what is the meaning of this at? The content of 20200 is transferred to accumulator. That is the meaning. Is that clear?
Yes.
Is it clear? Any doubts? It's a very complicated. Yes, ma'am?
Please repeat it again, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. See, the instruction given here is move C A comma at A plus DPTR. So this is for mainly used in lookup table applications. That is, we have to store some pre-calculated values in your code memory. So using this instruction, we can access the pre-calculated values from your code memory. So here your C represents code memory. If X is present, that represents your external memory. So before execution, your accumulator holds 0, 2, and DPTR holds 01 FE, which means a 16-bit value. DPL holds FE, DPH holds 01. Okay. So during the execution, these two values will get added, A plus DPTR. Okay. So here your A acts as an offset value. That is distance from the main content. It's like an offset value. Okay. So 01 FE is added with 02, the new address will be generated. Okay. So the meaning of this instruction is we are going to access the content of 0200. So that value should be transferred to accumulator. Okay. So according to this example, opcode 93 is loaded in 01 FB program memory. Okay. After execution, the 01 FE is added with your accumulated content. We will get new address. So here, according to the syntax of this instruction, after adding, the meaning of this one is at 0200. So we have to find out the data available at 0200. So here, for example, 4F. So this 4F should be transferred to accumulator after execution. So fetching the next data, you have to increment accumulator and get added with your DPTR and access that value into the accumulator. In this way, we can access the data elements from lookup table calculation. Is that clear, ma'am? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Can any one of you summarize all the addressing mode? What is immediate?
In immediate
It's very explain it to me.
immediate addressing mode, it transfers 8-bit data immediately to the accumulator, and it can be found only on the source operand. And direct addressing mode, the address
Some other person. Can anyone explain this direct addressing mode? What is that 04? 04 is address or data?
Address, ma'am.
Address. Okay, explain that. See, students, what about remaining students? Solunga, yara solunga. Just to summarize all the addressing mode. I think I have explained clearly. What is that direct addressing mode? Students?
The address is accumulator, ma'am.
Huh?
The
The
address is
content of your address, that is, your 04 is considered as address. So the content of address is transferred to accumulator. So using this addressing mode, we can directly represent the address as a operand. So that's why it's called as direct addressing mode. Okay. So what is the third one? Register direct. Boy side. Can anyone explain this? Boy side.
Ma'am, here we address using the register names, ma'am.
Okay, register names can be directly specified in the register direct addressing mode. So what is the advantage of this mode compared to your direct addressing mode? So it can save your program memory. So that is the advantage of your
Execution time will be
register
less.
direct addressing. Yeah, execution time is less for this register direct addressing mode. What is this indirect addressing mode? What is the meaning of that at representation?
The content stored at that particular register.
Here your R0 act as a pointer. Okay. So the content stored in a register, your R0 holds some value. We are trying to access the data available at that memory location. After that, that data is transferred to accumulator. Okay. And in text addressing mode, so DPTR holds a particular value, 16-bit value. That value is added with the accumulator, and new address will be calculated. So at new address means the content of new address is transferred to accumulator. So it's mainly used in lookup table applications. And another instruction also available for this case. Please note it down. move C plus program counter. Instead of DPTR, we can use program counter. So only the difference is instead of adding DPTR with accumulator, here data inside program counter is added with accumulator to obtain the target address. Okay, so only these two instructions are available in this in-text addressing mode. Move C A comma at A plus PC, and another one is move C A comma at A plus DPTR. So that's all about your addressing mode. The next class we will do some examples related to your addressing mode. Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we wind up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.